Welcome to our exciting video Liberty half-dollar coins, specifically the 1972 and 1974 issues. Exploring there, the term Liberty half-dollar is commonly used to refer to the Kennedy half-dollar, a U.S. coin with a face value of 50 cents. First issued in 1964 to honor the assassinated President John F. Kennedy, the word Liberty is prominently featured on the obverse of the coin, which is why some collectors casually refer to it as the Liberty half-dollar. Let's get started. First step, 1974. Liberty half-dollar. Welcome to the world of American numismatics, where history, art, and national pride meet in the palm of your hand. Today, we take a deep dive into the 1974 Liberty half-dollar, a coin that has no Liberty figure on it at all, yet carries deep symbolic meaning, rooted in a decade of transition, remembrance, and American ambition, despite what some may think. The Liberty half-dollar from 1974 is not a coin featuring Lady Liberty. Instead, it's officially known as the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar. The confusion arises because all US coins are legally required to include the word Liberty, which appears prominently above President John F. Kennedy's portrait on the obverse front of the coin. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in November 1963. The coin was created to honor the fallen president, and its design was fast. Due to public demand, the 1974 edition came during a pivotal era. The U.S. had ended the use of 90% silver coins in 1964. From 1971 onward, the Kennedy half-dollar was made of copper-nickel clad, ending any silver content for general circulation. The early to mid-1970s saw declining public use of half-dollars, despite millions being minted. Portrait, John F. Kennedy, facing left. Designer, Gilroy Roberts, former chief engraver of the U.S. Mintella BRT, prominently at the top. In God We Trust beneath Kennedy's chin. 1974, at the bottom, indicating the year of minting. Design, the presidential seal, a heraldic eagle with a shield, olive branch, and arrows, 13 stars above its head, representing the original colonies. Designer, Frank US Mint Chief Engraver, United States of America Half, DOLAR. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar was minted at 3 different locations. Over 201 million coins struck. Denver Mint, D, Mint Mark. Approximately 79 million coins struck. San Francisco Mint, S Mint Mark. These were not for general circulation, only used for proof sets, intended for collectors. Around 2.6 million proof coins were made. You can find the mint mark on the obverse, just below Kennedy's neck truncation near the hairline. In 1974, the Kennedy half-dollar was still regularly minted for circulation. However, usage was sharply declining due to public hoarding. Many Americans held onto the coins due to Kennedy's popularity. Declining usage in commerce, the half-dollar was too large and inconvenient for daily transactions. Bank and casino use, many half-dollars found their way into bank vaults and casino change drawers rather than wallets. By the late 1970s, the half-dollar was rarely seen in circulation, though it continued to be mint. Coins that entered everyday use tend to show signs of wear, flattened hairlines, duller surfaces, and scratches. Circulated 1974 half-dollars are common. Market value 50 cents to $1. Depending on condition, coins that were never used and retained their mint luster are called uncirculated. Grading. Mint state MS grades range from MS60 to MS-70. MS60. Minor contact marks, average strike. MS-65. Strong luster, minimal marks. Great, I appeal. MS67 plus. Very rare for 1974 due to mass production. MS63, $3. $5M, S65, $10, $20, MS67 plus. $100 or more conditional rarity, high quality. Mirror-like coins made for collectors, sealed in plastic cases as part of proof sets. Value 2025. $5, $12. Depending on grade and preservation, in 1974, the U.S. Mint considered a bicentennial redesign that led to the 1976 Kennedy half-dollar with the Independence Hall reverse. Some 1974D Kennedy half-dollars were struck on 40%. Silver planchettes by mistake extremely rare. Error coins new. 1974. Kennedy half-dollars were made with silver for general circulation, though not rare. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar remains a favorite among beginner collectors. It's affordable and easy to find. Jeff K. memorabilia fans. A tangible tribute to a beloved president. Roll hunters. Searching bankrolls can occasionally yield uncirculated or rare examples. Era collectors. Rare die varieties, double dies, and off-center strikes exist. Narrator. The 1974 Liberty half-dollar. Officially, the Kennedy half-dollar stands as more than just a coin. It's a reflection of 20th century America marked by loss, tribute, and transformation. Though it may not circulate in your pocket today, It endures in collectors' albums and the hearts of those who remember President Kennedy's legacy. Its copper-nickel composition may not shine like silver, but its historical luster endures. Would you like this script adapted for video narration, turned into a PDF collector's guide, or split into chaptered segments for a website? The term Liberty half dollar is often associated with several classic U.S. coin series. However, there is no official U.S. half dollar issued in 1972 called the Liberty half dollar. Instead, the 1972 U.S. half dollar refers to the Kennedy half dollar, which features President John F. Kennedy on the obverse, not Lady Liberty. The United States has a rich tradition of featuring Liberty on its coinage, from the draped bust 17961-807 to the iconic walking Liberty half dollar 1916 to 1947. Liberty has symbolized the nation's founding principles. However, beginning in the mid-20th century, the U.S. Mint began to replace allegorical figures, like Liberty, with portraits of real individuals, notably former presidents. This shift marked the introduction of the Kennedy half dollar, which debuted in 1964 after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in November 1969. Portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. Inscriptions, Liberty Arcs. Over the top, this is where the confusion arises. In God We Trust, the date 1972 presidential seal, designed by Frank Gasparo. Features an eagle with a shield, holding an olive branch and arrows. United States of America half dollar, although the word Liberty appears prominently on the obverse. It is not considered a Liberty half dollar in numismatic circles. That term is generally reserved for coins featuring Lady Liberty herself, such as the Walking Liberty or Liberty Seated series. By 1972, the Kennedy half dollar had been in circulation for 8 years. Initially, a tribute to a fallen president, the coin had become a standard part of American coinage. However, the Kennedy half dollar underwent significant changes from its 1964 origin to 1972 to 1964, minted in 90% silver, 1965 to 1970, reduced to 40% silver only in collector versions after 1970, 1971 onward. Composed of copper-nickel clad, no silver content in circulation strikes. Thus, the 1972 Kennedy half dollar is a copper-nickel clad coin, not silver. Philadelphia, no mint mark Denver, D mint mark San Francisco, S mint mark 4 proof coins. Only Philadelphia, approx 153 million Denver, approx 141 million San Francisco, 3 million proof coins. The 1972 Kennedy half dollar was minted in massive quantities but saw limited use in daily commerce. By the early 1970s, half dollars had largely fallen out of favor in everyday transactions due to their bulky size and the increasing popularity of quarters and dollar bills. Geographically, these coins circulated throughout the U.S., but usage was often limited to bankrolls, casino coinage, or collector hoards. Coins used in general circulation show moderate to heavy wear, typical features, flattened hair and cheek, detail on JFK, dull or gray surface, with contact marks. In circulated condition, these coins are only worth face value 50 cents, unless in exceptionally high grade or error varieties. These coins were never used in commerce and retain original luster grading scale, MS602, MS70, with MS70 being a flawless example. Uncirculated 1972 half dollars typically sell for $2, $5 for common, mint-state examples MS60, MS63. Higher prices for certified grades, MS65 plus, specially struck for collectors with mirrored fields and frosted devices. Value, around $4, $10, depending on condition and whether it's cameo or deep cameo. While 1972 does not have any well-known major die varieties like the 1974D, doubled die, or 1964 accented hair, collectors sometimes find struck through errors. These can fetch higher prices depending on severity and eye appeal. Attributed tail coin name Kennedy half dollars Liberty. Date 1972 metal composition copper nickel clad, no silver. Weight 11.34 grams, diameter 30.6. Image readed obverse, design John F. Kennedy by Gilroy Roberts. Reverse design presidential seal by Frank Gasparo. Mints Philadelphia, no mark. Denver D. SFS. Proof circulated value face. Value 50. Uncirculated value to $10 depending on grade. Proof value for $10 more if graded or cameo, though not a Liberty half dollar in the classical sense. The 1972 Kennedy half dollar is an important piece in U.S. numismatic history. It symbolizes a shift from allegory to realism in American coin design. Despite its high mintage and low value in circulation, it remains popular among collectors for its historical significance and representation of American values, especially the ideal of liberty, which still frames the coin in bold letters. Could you like a visual chart or collector's checklist for 1972 Kennedy halves? Or info about earlier Liberty-themed half dollars like the Walking Liberty?